Hello guys, I am Anna. Welcome to my channel, and today we are going to be doing a special video.
One, two, three, funky.
For those of you who don't know me, hi. How are you? Nice to meet you. I am a reaction channel and recently hit my first 1000, my first milestone. And to celebrate today, I will be reading my favorite comments out of all of my videos. I will also be talking about my controversial opinion for the first time since I posted a video on the season finale of Killing Eve of this third season. That ended up being the most disliked video in my channel, but I'm just gonna leave that by the end. I am aware this is a long ass video, so I'll be grouping the comments according to the fandom, and you can find the timestamps for that in the description box and also in the first comment. So before we start this, guys, a huge thank you to all of my subscribers and to all of the people that watch my videos. Every like, every comment, it really makes my day and it means a lot to me. My most guarded secret. Although if you do follow me on TikTok, you already know I use glasses. I literally have such a bad sight that I have issues if a show is subtitled, like if it's in another language, like anime, that has subtitles in it. I really need to put on my glasses to see it. I hope it doesn't reflect too much the lighting that I have or my screen. It's also kind of covering my makeup, which is a shame because, kind of rocking it today, I hope. Anyways, I do get a lot of I love your reaction comments, and they are all so cute and I love them, and thank you very much to everybody who takes their time to write down I love you in the comments down below, or they like my reaction and things like that. I do not want to turn this one into a huge ego boost, so I picked the comments that are, interesting in some way. They have fun facts, they have a point of view, or they say something funny in the comments. But I do see all of your I love you comments and I appreciate them very much. But that's not what we're doing today. I picked the ones that I consider the most interesting, at least. First, I have a couple of sections I want to cover. The first one, I titled it, Where Are You From? I get this from time to time. They are really cute. The first one, sinceramente siento que vos sos latina y hablas inglés. I sincerely think that you are Latina and you speak English, which is actually the right one. I'm not from Brazil, I'm not Filipina, I am not Spanish. I thought you were Italian. Are you French? I thought you were Italian. This is from a comment of Killing Eve when I caught an actress that's from a French TV show. I am not Italian, I am not French, I do speak French though, and you have a smooth voice, thank you. I am from Mexico, but it is pretty amusing to me that it apparently does not show. I don't know what kind of accent they have, but some of you really seem to like it. I love to reaction to this. There isn't many on YouTube, even though it's an amazing show. I am obsessed with your accent. The other one just says your accent. And first kiss but not the last. This is also from Killing Eve. By the way, I love the way you say biscuits. I never thought I said biscuits that differently. It kind of made me rethink my whole pronunciation. Also, I like this kind of comments where you greet me from different parts of the world, and I'm sure I missed a couple, but greetings from Brazil, cheers from Canada. I am French and I live in France and I love your reaction. You are also very cute. Greetings to all of you from Mexico. Now, let's get to it. I started actually reacting to shows a couple of years ago, and before that I used to do reviews in this channel, and before that I was totally inactive. I don't think I have any reviews anymore. I got rid of them all, so all the comments will be for my reactions. And we're going to start chronologically, so this means back in 2018. And our first fandom will be The End of the Fucking World, and this will include season 1 and 2.
Why is no one stopping?
Probably because you got your tits out.
I love how Jim's flashbacks are becoming less and less about knife slashing and more about Elisa. I'm pretty sure Elisa was his first real human interaction. Like, you know, obviously first relationship, but also kind of first friendship. We didn't see much of James having buddies or even acquaintances, and she was pretty much the person who made him realize that he didn't actually want to kill, that he was craving for something to fill a void within him. But he didn't know what that something was. I love this series, and I remember watching it for the first time, just fell in love with the way that they directed it and the way it was filmed. But above all, I love the soundtrack. God, I love a good soundtrack. Music can take a show to the next level. Turn a good scene or a good moment into an extraordinary one. And this show had that. I think I mentioned music or the soundtrack in literally every reaction, in every video. French songs. Yes. I love French songs, but French songs as part of a soundtrack. I love the soundtrack, but the visuals are cool too. It starts out with James imagining killing Elisa, and then in the hotel room he hears her crying and he imagines dropping the knife in a pool of blood as he cuddles her, symbolizing he no longer was thinking of killing her. Then after killing the man who attacked her, you see the man in a pool of blood shaped as a heart, showing he now loved Elisa. You know, sometimes I'm not that great explaining my points of view or my thoughts, and I really appreciate comments that nail the things I feel about the episode or the show and end up explaining it better. This was one of those times. Season 2 will be out tomorrow, 10 months ago. This one was so cute. I loved that you wanted to see me react to the next season of the show as well. Thank you. Watch Lucifer, please. This was 2 years ago. Well, I hope you still watch my videos. 2 years later, but here we are. Season 2, and it's still the most witty and most well-written YA show ever. No wonder this is a British show. That's why it doesn't have the sappy melodrama and doesn't insult our intelligence or try cheap tricks to emotionally manipulate us. What a brilliant show. I kind of agree with the middle part, you know, the whole thing of it doesn't have the sappy melodrama, it doesn't insult our intelligence, and doesn't try cheap tricks to emotionally manipulate us. This show, you know, just like has all of that. And this is sort of the standard I go by watching the shows that at the end, sometimes they do end up becoming my favorite shows. I have not watched enough British YA TV to agree that they are always superior in all of those aspects, but I definitely know that there are more than enough American shows ticking those boxes, and I actively avoid all of them. And I am looking at you, Riverdale. So I've reacted to Black Mirror in short bursts, and I've actually have not finished the show as a whole. Will I ever? Maybe. I don't know. It's not part of my future projects, but I can't rule it out. In total, I have 8 reaction videos of this show up in my channel, but I only picked one comment, and it is from the very first episode, you know, the pig incident. So Phil Hayes, they get a lot better than this one, just hang in there. Fun fact, after this episode, it was alleged but not confirmed that the Prime Minister at the time, David Cameron, has supposedly in some initiation had to put himself, if you know what I mean, inside a pig's head. And then a YouTube link that I do not remember if I ever clicked on that. I'm kind of scared to do it. But you know, fun facts about literally everything are my favorite. Like fun facts about the show, the actors, the shooting, the script, anything. Put fun facts in my comments and I will love the fuck out of them. So this is literally one of my top 3 favorite reactions I've ever done. This show was amazing for starters, all of it. I haven't read the books, so I can't really rate it as an adaptation, but it is definitely a must watch. Making these videos was so fun. Everyone was really nice in the comments and overall made it a great experience for me. I could not wait to upload the next one and the next one for you guys to watch it. Duncan, I'm still a journalist. You're 12. LMAO, I just found out you and I love you already. I like when my sense of humor is appreciated. That's all. I'm hilarious. The biggest plot twist in this show is Hector not fainting. Love that. What am I telling you? The act of a captor sympathizing with their captive is known as lemma syndrome. Fun facts. Give me those fun facts. This was one of my favorite episodes. Can't wait to see how you react to the end or the final episode. It is so satisfying to see what happened at the opera and what the hell is in the sugar bowl. LOL. Okay, so reading this gave me like war flashbacks. I remember being so mad at the show for making me so fucking obsessed with the damn sugar bowl. I think I mentioned it every episode because I wanted to know what was in it, and they literally tell you until the last episode of the last season. And you know what was in the sugar bowl? Now take a guess. Sugar. I didn't expect to love this show as much as I do. It really caught me by surprise how much heart it has and the brilliant script. So for this lovely comment, I really wanted to get the name right. I kept practicing, didn't sound right. I have a friend who actually speaks Chinese, has family in China and the whole thing. So he's going to say the name. So,
小童丽
I love you. You are the reason why I keep watching YouTube. An occasional ego boost is really great for you. I'm just saying. No, but the reason I chose this comment is that this user in particular has always been so sweet and kind since the beginning in the comment section, and I wanted to give a big shout out. So thank you. I never really shipped Maeve and Otis. I don't know why. They're cute besties. I just didn't think they made a good couple. And Eric is my heart. I felt so sad for him. Yes to everything. I see the crush to Maeve. I understand that. I kind of support it. And Otis is a good boy. He's a good young man. It's hard not to root for him. You know, to want him to be happy. But I've never quite shipped it. And I'm still not 100% convinced. That Adam revelation was one of the best things, even though I had a feeling probably that's what it was, with him not getting it up in the first episode with that girl, but that's just probably my gay ass senses. LMAO. No comment. I just loved it. I just loved the comment. Her reaction to Eric and Adam is the entire fandom reaction to Eric and Adam. It was iconic. I mean, the whole episode was iconic. That was something else. I remember the day I shot that. Like, I'm still shocked. All of us, they're gonna kiss, they're not fooling anyone. Eric and Adam, kiss. All of us, surprise Pikachu face. That meme of the surprise Pikachu face is still to this day my favorite meme of all times. So thank you for putting it in my comments. They put a timestamp. My mom said that to my dad when he asked her out, and he said having a boyfriend or girlfriend is about getting to know that person. And well, I'm here. This is a timestamp, by the way.
That maybe you want to be my boyfriend.
I just really like everything about that comment, you know, like my mom said, and well, I'm here. Long story short, I haven't. I reacted to the last season of Game of Thrones. Unfortunately, I had to go through that. Not a lot of views, not a lot of comments, but I did have a favorite. Well said, pour yourself a drink. Season 8 sucks balls. Ain't this a mood? This one is up there on my top 3 favorite reactions I've done as well, and it's basically for the same reason as a series of unfortunate events. I just had a blast with the show and the fandom. I'm just going to read all the comments, and the great majority is about the ship, so be ready. It really is the best adaptation. You can really tell it comes from the heart. A lot of love was put into it. Neil really came through on this. This is also the first time I noticed that Colli is acting really snake-like during the drunk scene. He keeps staring and swaying back and forth. It's a great touch and a very nice acting by David Tennant. I fucking love David and everything he does. He's amazing. I adore how hard they lean into the ship. Best part of the show by far. The horsemen and them were a bit of a letdown, sadly. Some book fans ship Aziraphale and Colli. I think I said Aziraphale. My whole reactions. I'm so sorry. I just see these glasses. Yeah. Ship Aziraphale and Colli. Gaiman tries to stay neutral on the whole ineffable husband things in the show. The audience of the show ships them, but even harder. Yes. I love this episode just as much as you did. I mean, holy hell. I saw some people saying they didn't really understand why there were 20 minutes of Aziraphale and Colli going around history, but just because they didn't really understand the whole character building thing. Also, this show is the damnable proof that adaptations can be made and with great quality. So the whole, oh, it's an adaptation, of course it's not going to be equivalent, is no bullshit. Still didn't got the book, sadly, but everyone says it's an amazing adaptation. I mean, I don't believe I saw that with, well, anything before. P.S. I like your hairstyle and your mole. The first cause it's awesome, the second cause it's awesome and reminds me of my mom. Been a while since I saw her lol. I don't know what to say to the P.S. I'm sorry, but I'm glad. And yes, overall it was a great adaptation. I think Aziraphale and Colli, you know, David and Michael really carried this show on their back, and they did an amazing job. It's pretty clear, especially in the book, that the aliens and all that are caused by Adam's influence over the world being inspired by anathemas magazines. He reads about Tibetans and aliens and kraken and power plants and rainforests, and he just changes reality. Now, it is pretty clear, but this brain cell did not get it. Thanks for explaining shit to me. Nice video, I really enjoyed your reactions. Anyway, what really killed me is that when Colli thought Aziraphale was dead, he just went in a bar drinking himself into a mess. He wasn't going to Alpha Centauri alone because what's the point if Aziraphale isn't there with him? He's like, oh yeah, Armageddon. I guess I lied too. They love each other so much. I think the problem with the kids might have had more to do with the directing. I mean, it looked like they were just told to stand still or just hang from a wire. And of course, it'll look awkward if that's all they're doing. If they were given anything to do, anything at all, it would probably have gone better. Have Adam summon a globe and play with it as he speaks, for example. It could even be used to demonstrate his plans. Have the other three struggling to get free from his influence or huddling together in terror. Have them interact with each other somehow. Adam could walk up to them or round them to just something, anything. In any case, I got the sense that the showrunners didn't really care about the scenes with them, and it shows. I couldn't agree with this one more. And I really see it working out better with all of the tips and suggestions this comment has. I really wanted them to pair up or get a little bit closer to the rendition and the performance of Aziraphale and Colli. Again, those two were the ones who were carrying the show on their back. I really enjoy your reactions. It was fun. I would love a second series like the first half of the third episode, just Colli and Aziraphale being dorks through centuries. Anyway, I don't know if you know, but years ago somebody asked the two authors what Colli and Aziraphale had done after the Not Apocalypse, and they said that they bought a cottage in South Downs and went to live there together. It's a nice image, to be honest. It is. I am all for, being domestic and cute and in love. Ha ha ha. I'm so glad you liked it. I don't know why you read it like that. Gaiman, although at first he said that a sequel is not very probable and that he's tired of directing a show, recently said that if there was a time and willingness and interest in the future, it's not that impossible. I honestly would be on board with that. There were so many good things about that show. Just so many good things, and I would be on board with watching anything about Good Omens again. The last one, you can actually see the Kill Bill sirens going off in Crowley's head when Gabriel told Aziraphale to shut up and die. This last one was golden. Great. So congrats to my girl Zendaya for her first Emmy. If you didn't know, she won her category this last Sunday, and I am so happy for her. This show as a whole was so great and one of my top recommendations when somebody asks me what to watch. That is such a cool shot. Of many, this show is probably the best I've seen with shots like that. Better than most movies, lol. Nothing but the truth here. I've never seen a show this well put together. Like, it is a real piece of art. Zendaya's acting in that last scene was just fucking chilling. It was so raw and powerful. Definitely my favorite piece of acting I've seen from her so far. She's been great so far with everything, but that scene was just a whole other level of talent. I am so confident that that scene of her with Fess banging the door is what got her Emmy. That scene is just raw, man. It's just so fucking... Zendaya in that last scene was just brilliant. I felt that shit, and I could see in your eyes that you felt it too. I always knew she was capable of great acting, but now she just solidified it for me. It was a thing of beauty to see you get emotional like that, lol. Nothing but respect for my queen. And I do remember at this point, every time that I watched that scene, I actually watched it around 3 times because I recommended to people, and to make sure that they actually watch it, I watch it with them. I'm that friend. I'm so sorry. I always get emotional and I always cry in that scene. And in my video, I am crying in that scene. I am still not done with the show, but I will finish it even if it's the last thing I do. You'll catch me 5 years from now and I will still be releasing my reaction to season 4. And you're done Veep and Fleabag. Girl, you're new, but be careful, you might become my fave channel. Thank you. I also saw you pretty active in my the great reactions. So yeah, you've been here for a while. Thank you for sticking with me. I am still doing Veep and Fleabag. Okay, I will finish them. I swear. Fleabag is scheduled for next month, but I swear I will finish them. Veep has 7 seasons, and I will do each and every one of them. Mark my words. So I'm reacting to it episode per episode right now in my Patreon, and oh my god, I can't wait to release it into the wild in the beginning of next month. Nina, OMG, please stick with the show. The second season is a masterpiece. It fucking is. It fucking is. I am like in the middle of the second season. It's not even that long, but I just had so many things to do at one point in this channel that I just couldn't keep up with it. But I am doing it now. I am doing it now. Please don't hate me. I am doing it now. This was one of those quirky, cringy, coming-of-age shows that one of the previous comments was shitting on. And I thought, at the beginning of this video, and I thought I was going to shit on it too. But after it was recommended to me a couple of times by you guys, I gave it a try. Oh boy, this show has so many good moments and dialogue. It balances out the cringy parts. Ben is definitely my favorite character. His facial expressions are amazing. His facial reactions actually remind me of my own. So yeah, definitely. His expressions are amazing. Sarah, I've had the exact same reactions to her interactions with Paxton, and now it makes sense. You're right, it feels weirdly nostalgic. I cannot tell you how many crushes I had growing up that fit that mix of awesome personality and just like the cool kid, and also being like a good person while being physically really cute as well. That's my type. Holly, did you see the way Ben was staring at Debbie during the presentation? I think he's low-key in love with her. I don't know if Holly was trolling me or not, but by the end of the season, I do agree. Ben is low-key in love with Debbie. This show was my period drama / comedy wet dream. I mean, Nicholas Hoult and Elle Fanning in amazing scenography, costumes, plot, and script. There was no way I was not gonna love it. We want more reactions. Huzzah! Your huzzah put you here. I loved it. I never really liked Catherine characters, and I still don't like her. She doesn't have a strong leadership because most of the time she takes decisions based on feelings. Mariel and Orlo are the opposite. They evolve through the episodes with more courage, determination, and rage. I hope I can see Catherine killing at least one person in the next episode. I mean, she tried. Catherine is honestly the least interesting character in the show, and she is the lead. It's not entirely her fault. It's just that all of the characters around her are so much more colorful and cunning and ambitious and grow significantly with much complex motivations.
This is Hamilton.
I don't think this one needs introduction. I love Hamilton. Fight me. About the no-guns for the award show, it was for the Tonys, and they had no weapons because less than 24 hours before, the Pulse nightclub shooting had happened, so they decided not to show weapons out of respect for the people who were lost that day. Anyway, love your reaction so much. This was such an important thing, and I loved that you explained all of these details to me and you put it down there. And 68 likes up so far. I think everybody liked it as well. I love how Lynn put the line, "There is a grace too powerful to name," and soon after, Eliza forgives him. She is the grace too powerful to name. And I loved Madison crying. He was all of us. that part always kills me, man. I cannot see the second act of Hamilton without crying. I am so sad they didn't put congratulations in it. I originally put my favorite original versions of some songs, like congratulations, but then I cut them out because I didn't want my video to be too long. Was that the best decision? I don't know, you tell me. It's that scream Eliza does when she sees Angelica. Like, you'd believe they were actually sisters who haven't seen each other in years. It would be everything to be that bonded with my sister. I love it. I love it. I don't have siblings, but there are some things in media, you know, TV and movies, that make me long for a sister. And this was one of those times. That little moment when they see each other again and they scream, and it's great. I think this show literally speaks for itself. It has solidified as a great show with such amazing plots and very, very entertaining characters. Klaus and Ben is and will forever be the best. Say it louder. I wasn't going to include the next two shows because I'm not done with them strictly, but you know, fuck it. If your comment is not in here, it means that when I shot this, probably I had not seen it, but I am sort of planning to do this sort of video where I read my favorite comments for Lucifer and for The Boys, ones that I actually finish this seasons. So do not worry, my kids. Your laugh is so contagious. This comment made me feel better about myself in a bad day, so it just deserves a space in this video. Thank you. It isn't really filler because if you want to understand the story of later episodes, you can't skip it. It has information to understand May's actions, and if that ring really has Lilith's immortality in it, maybe it'll be used later. I'm wondering how the hell did Michael know about the ring if just Lilith and just Lucifer were there, and I don't believe Lucifer would have told him, so maybe Lilith herself. But the episode is indeed kinda slow. I am not a noir fan, but the next 4 episodes are awesome. Yes, a little subplot I hope they use Lilith's ring instead of using that episode just to have Mace find her mom and then just leave it there and never speak of the ring ever again. Because it would be interesting to see, you know, who wants Lilith's immortality? Maybe Michael will spill this secret onto somebody else and they will go after the ring. I don't know, there's so many possibilities. Michael used Lucifer's phone that he threw out from the window. So last episode when Michael calls Dan, pretending to be Lucy to Dan, so Dan sees his real face. It kind of was not very obvious to me when I watched it, so thank you for pointing it out. I just had a fit of laughter with the sound of Lucifer when you said, "What's that sound?" OMG. So let's play it again, shall we?
Wait, are you talking about Chloe? She said she wasn't in a relationship.
What was that sound? I like making you guys laugh. 611, that reaction alone is worth a subscribe. I look forward to your future videos. Cue video. I love you guys like watching me suffer. The ears add a lot to your already great reaction. Thank you. I love my ears. This resolved 2 needs in one go. I kind of needed a better mic and new headphones. Ya valió verga. Again, thanks for appreciating my humor. I am hilarious. You guys should laugh more. My name is Ryan, but I'm curious what the issue is with the name. I answered this one in the comments, but I kind of liked that you were interested in that specifically out of the whole video. So I'm a writer, and back when I first started around 12 years old, I named my first male love interest Ryan. Needless to say, it was cringy as fuck, and now every time that I hear that name, I have war flashbacks. I am leaving Killing Eve right at the end because it's probably the reason this video will be like an hour long. I tried to react to the second season, but the videos kept getting blocked, so I eventually just gave up. But I did react to the third season, and you know, the last one, the most recent one. And the way it unfolded, for me now, is kind of hilarious, because it feels like it was just this huge and messy misunderstanding. I would like to start by saying that I really like the show. I love it still. Since the very first episode in season 1, I fell in love with it and got completely obsessed. Everything was flawless, since the script, the acting, the directing. I've always seen Killing Eve as one of the best shows out there right now. It is one of my top recommendations alongside with Euphoria and The Umbrella Academy. So I guess the problem began with the fact that I thought the show was perfect. The first 2 seasons really did it for me, and when the third season began, I honest to God was expecting pure excellence, no room for failure. I think there is really another way to explain it. I had such high standards for the show, and it had not let me down at all, so I was blindly trusting the showrunners that this season was going to go exactly as I wanted it to. You can watch my reactions to the show. Most of it is still there. If it's not, it got blocked for copyright. But since the beginning, I started to notice just, little things in the plot or the characters that I didn't see a point in, or that felt odd in a way. But I was so sure that it all would make sense at the end, that they would tie up the plot, they would reveal the killer of Kenny, that by the end of the season it would be a satisfying ending as they had done in the 2 previous seasons. So I let it pass each episode, and at the end of my reactions I focused on all the good things, and there were a lot. But I only talked about everything I liked because I trusted everything that I didn't would be fixed at the end. Don't take me wrong, the season was very good, and the acting was superb, and some special scenes, like the whole third episode, I carry in my heart because it was amazing. There were a lot of acting beats and scenes, dialogue that I really loved. And then we get to the season finale, and we are about 10 minutes out before the season ends. We are in the bridge scene, and all of those plot holes and inconsistencies were not solved. And I wake up to a hard realization. This season is not perfect. And my disappointment settled in that moment. As I have said recently in a Lucifer reaction, you can totally adore something and still be aware that it has flaws. And you should be able to point out those flaws and still like your show. There's nothing wrong with that. Not everything has to be perfect. But when I was watching Killing Eve, I had a very different mindset in that moment. I was just dealing with the fact that this show wasn't perfect, which is fine. Something doesn't have to be perfect for you to enjoy it. But I was still in so much shock that I couldn't enjoy the bridge scene. And looking back at it, while I was editing the video, I did have a different reaction to it. But while I was filming, I didn't have enough time to process what was going on inside of my head. So I had a few things to say at the end, and the fans did not like my opinion. Now, we're gonna watch the clip of me talking and the negative comments as well. Looking back at it now, I wholeheartedly believe the things would have gone much smoother if I had pointed out the good things in the show and everything I did like as well, and not just my critique. But, you know, my logic was I already said everything I like in all of my previous reactions. You have 7, the season was 8 episodes long. So you already had like 7 episodes worth of good reviews and, you know, details that I liked about everything. So I got to unload my frustration in the last one. And because I was still in shock, I did not mention all the good things again. Or, you know, highlighted the fact that I still really much thought that it was a good season. It just didn't match up with the other first 2. So yeah, here's my comment.
Alright. I just want to say that I don't know if it's just me, maybe it is just me, but I did feel like this finale and the overall season was a little bit underwhelming. There were a lot of things that I didn't like. I don't know if I was just expecting too much, and I don't know exactly what I was expecting, but I wanted to be more amazed by the last episode. There were a lot of things that did not make a lot of sense and were inconsistent with past seasons. I did feel like the whole season was just hanging on the acting of everybody that was just amazing as always. The past built relationship between Villanelle and Eve, and just shocking effect like Kenny's death and a lot of deaths every episode. Like Villanelle showing up at Eve's workplace just for comedic relief. The revelation of Kenny's death just being actually accidental and nobody killing him. And we made such a big deal about it throughout the whole, it was a whole arc of Caroline during this season. Like she spent the whole thing being, you know, grieving and then trying to find answers, and then it was just such a big deal. And then Paul being working as a high rank for MA6 and a high rank for the 12th, and then just ending like that, just like I don't know, I feel like the whole tension and the greatness and all of it, it was not as good as it's been in the past 2 seasons.
I still stand by everything I said. I feel like the majority of the season was leaning on the already built relationship of Eve and Villanelle, the acting of the whole cast, and all the things that had previously happened in the other 2 seasons. But I don't think that I was bashing the show, you know? So comments started flying in, and some people who even admitted didn't watch the reaction thumbed it down. Some from more than one of their accounts apparently. Thank you for your comments, so I don't have to watch this video. Thanks, will save my time. Automatically thumbs down. This is such a negative review. 3 thumbs down from all 3 of my channels. And so they passed, and some people did come to the rescue. Thank you for that. I didn't want to engage because I feel the reaction my comments caused were simply out of proportion, and I didn't want to make it worse. You know, getting thumbed down for giving an honest, mildly critical review, watch a bunch of shadows. It was not only you. I liked part of the seasons, like the development of Villanelle, but many more were messy, without enough depth and relevance. Pretty much all the time was spent on Geraldine and Paul. What the fuck was up with Geraldine, by the way? Why did we put her there? I did not see a point in the character at all throughout the seasons, and it was an amazing actress, and I really wanted her to do something more than cry 90% of the time. Plus, Kenny's stories result like that, not to mention not enough Eve. I'm sorry you're getting thumbs down for simply expressing your opinions. Agreed, you can disagree with her opinion without being a douche about it. I agree the season as a whole was a bit lackluster, with some episodes seen as an exception, but come on, the finale was beautiful and moving. It was! Actually, the bridge scene was amazing and really, really, you know, consolidating the already built-in relationship of these two characters, and it was pretty great and beautiful. It was beautiful, the shots were beautiful, the scenery and all of it, it was great, and the acting was amazing. The final scene of them looking back at each other, it was amazing. But I just didn't have the mind space for that in that moment when I was actually reacting to it for the first time. So yeah, this is the first and last time I am going to talk about that. Making this video was really fun and something new. I hope you liked it. Again, thank you very much for helping me for reach my first milestone. I love you guys. Remember, you can support me by becoming a Patreon for $1 a month and follow me on social media for all of my updates. This was it for today's video. Have a great day and I will be seeing you around.